everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lottie, everything here is made with a Lottie love. So while I was away, I managed to catch up on my editing, and there was a couple of videos that I had made pre-fixing up my craft space. So it's the old wood table that looks a bit naff compared to what I've got set up now. But yeah, so a few months back, I had joined up for the Craft for Cats, see if you can get that. Craft for Cats charity craft along, and I followed along. The lady who did it was Pretty and Paper by B. She is selling kits all the time for iris folding paper crafts, and she has got some beautiful things, so it might be well worth having a check out with her. But I was kind of inspired as to make my own. So here is my tutorial. Everything I use will be, as always, listed in the description box below. And I just wanted to say again how grateful and lovely it is to have you with me. So let's get crafty. So we're just going to trim this paper down to 10. This is the hammered white cardstock. I'm going to trim this down to 5. Score down the 5 mark. And you've got a very basic 5x5 card base, like that. We're going to burnish that down, and then I have a piece of fancy paper here, which I'm going to use as the card topper, and I'm going to trim that down to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Then I got another piece of cardstock, which I have also cut to 4 3/4 and 4 3/4. So I am now going to glue that to the top of the card topper, and then you'll see the magic happen. And I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not, but look at the gold details on this beautiful cardstock paper topper. I just love this card. It's so gorgeous. So I've just got my tacky glue here, and I'm just going to cover the back of this paper and stick it to the card topper. I'm smushing this glue in with my finger so that it really sticks down to the card topper, because we are going to run it through a die cutting machine as one piece, so you really want it stuck down on top well. There we go, make sure it's nice and flat. You can see the ink on my fingers from when I was doing some stamping earlier, so icky. And now I've got my die, which is just 2 cats, and the whole design of it would be the cat sitting on top of a branch, but I've made a little twist to this. So I've got the branch here, and because of the colour, I'm going for black. So I'm cutting out all the little kittens and the leaf twig design, just cutting them all out on some black cardstock, and it will really pop when we stick it all. And there we go, I've managed to cut out at the end all of those cat pieces in the one with the branch, so that was awesome, and we'll see how this turns out now. Just very gently peeling this masking tape away. That's why I tend to dab it on my hands or fingers first so that it loses some of that stick. So here again, just gently making sure I don't damage this paper. It's stuck a bit too well here. Okay, I think I can save this. I can save that. Don't you panic. That side was much better. Phew! And then just pop those out. And I will use those for another card another day. Oh no. There it is, a nearly squished one. Nearly squished a kitten. I squished his tail, sorry. I'm aware it's just card. I am. These little guys out as well. It's just so pretty. And the last little guy. And we're all good. Now we can put our dies away and make the card. So here are all my little pieces. I'm just going to keep them to one side. And then I'm going to get a piece of paper. Doesn't matter if it's scrap, just as long as it's big enough to do this. Actually, I need it that way around. And I want a pencil. And I'm just going to draw around, yeah, like so. Just like that. I've gone silent for my concentration. Okay. And then for iris folding, basically I just want to first of all measure how big this is. I'm going to use centimeters today, about seven centimeters there, and then 4 centimeters. Yeah, so it's a 7 by 4 centimeter, or 1 5/8, 1 inch and 5/8 if you're inchy savvy, and 7 centimeters, which is 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so then what we're going to want to do is kind of make this a rectangle, cutting off their heads, bless them. And so because these are slightly angled, I'm going to start a rectangle shape at an angle. So how high is this? 2 centimeters. So I'm going to make a mark at 2 centimeters here. If you want to convert it to inches, please feel free. So 2.5 centimeters. So 2 centimeters there, 2.5 centimeters there. And then here we've got a 5 centimeter. So from your 2.5 centimeter mark, you're then going to make it 5 centimeters down here. And we're going to line this up. So we've got a wonky rectangle. So now what we're going to do is take the ruler, mark 1 centimeter and make a line from the top corner down to that centimeter mark. And again, I'm going to mark 1 centimeter, and I'm going to mark 1 here. From that edge, this one, that's going to be 2. Okay, 4 these, fold that in half. And so 1 centimeter. Mark from that point to this one, 3. And then on the first line you made, you're going to mark 1 centimeter here. And join up from this mark to that mark. And that's 4. So if you can see, you had a rectangle here, and now you've got a rectangle here. I can see that I marked that slightly too high. And so again, from the top corner and on this line here, I'm going to mark 1 centimeter. And that's going to be 5. And we mark 1 centimeter. And that's 6. And you just keep going. And then you can just line that last one up, and you'll be left with a little triangle in the middle. And that's 18, 18, 19, and if you want to cover up that middle, that would be 20. If you want to leave that in the uncovered, or add a separate funky piece of card for the center, you can do that too. So just mark that off so I know where my guidelines are. Okay. And so again, on this side, we've got the extra ½ centimetre, so it was 2.5. And up here, I'm going to mark, use my pencil first, 2.5. And then I'm going to add half, 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 half. And then again, lining up the 2.5. And I'm marking half, 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 half. And then we are going to just simply go straight across these lines. And that piece is not even going to show through anything, so there's no point in doing that bit. And I'm going to mark this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I'm going to do it that way, because then the final piece will be the straight edge before we start on the rectangle side of stuff. And that's your guideline for making your iris folds. And so I've got some standard craft card here, so I think that's it's thicker than printer paper, but not as thick as the card you use for making cards. And we are going to cut some 2 centimetre strips, not many, because trust me, a little goes a long way in these cards. And they don't have to be perfect at all. Then want to score, not in half, about 1/3. Just want it just off center. And then you're just going to fold that over. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. What you're after is a really crisp, straight edge here. It doesn't have to be straight either, but just crisp. Oops. So when you have the card, that is crisp as crisp can be. And I'll show you why you want the not completely in half shortly. there you've got strips, your 1 centimetre strip, so 1 centimetre strip, and I'll show you how to do that now. So then you just want to line up your die cut image with the one on the paper, put some tape, get most of the sticky off, and as you can see, 1 hasn't even made it on there, so we're just going to start from 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so for this we just want some regular tape. We want to trim it down but enough so we can tape each side, like so, and line it up on that straight line as best as you can. Try and be pretty precise with this, it adds to the effect. So if I go back to why we are doing the knot in half, because otherwise when we layer this up it just end up becoming so bulky, but with the extra give you're just a bit more forgiving when you stick it on the card base, basically. And just try and make sure none of your tape shows through the die cut image. Oh, I think I'll just make that, will I? And then stick that down. And that's your last piece of the top part. And then you can't see, but under this die cut part, that's 1. So the diagonal one is starting now. So we're going to do 1 here. 2 isn't even on here. I believe that's 3. Yeah, so we'll probably skip 2 and just move on to 3. Now if you had just a basic round shape or heart shape, you would make sure all of them are interconnected because you would see it all. But as the die cut's a bit of an odd shape, you can play around just a little bit more. One, 2, 3, and that's 4. So I'm just going to tape that all down because I want to make sure it stays in place. Shift it just slightly. Okay, then 5. That's way too long. And just continue all the way around. And here is the finished product. How beautiful is that? It just looks really classy and sophisticated. Obviously I've stuck on all the black bits now, and I am just going to stick a sentiment on, and that will be the card complete. So I just stamped a little sentiment onto a piece of the hammered white cardstock even, and I'm just trimming that down. And so I'm just using some 3D dots to stick the sentiment down onto the front of the card. And then I've also just got some little embellishments here, some gold coloured little gems, and I've got some stars and bead stars in fact, so I'm going to stick those all on. And if you remember that little blemish I had on the front of the card from taking the masking tape off the die, I am now going to cover that up with a very pretty bead star, because you can always fix your crafts. And then I just want to make sure I can stick down that part of the die cut that was flapping. So I'm just adhering that to the iris fold just so it will stay put. And that, my friends, is the iris card finished. Look at that up close, the detail of the iris folds. I love it. I absolutely love this style of card. Now I can do a simpler one in the future. If you enjoyed this one, just let me know. But here I did a second version of it with different coloured papers, just so that you could see what it could look like with different colours. So here it is. And so there it was, my iris folding papercraft card. It looks lovely. I really was happy with the outcome of that card. And if you enjoyed that one, give me a thumbs up or drop a comment in the comment section and I will endeavour to answer you. So once again, thank you for joining me. And as always, I'll see you soon.